The Esper is essentially a sci-fi fantasy sorcerer in your universe. Can you tell me about how you captured that?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to make sure that every single Esper, no matter what subclass you are, you're able to move things with your mind, you're able to communicate telepathically. You don't necessarily need to be waving your hands around and be chanting in order to cast your spells. Espers in our setting are people that were either born with or experienced something that awakened this tremendous amount of psychic power, and their mind is able to go well beyond what the average person in the galaxy can do. And once we achieved that with the class scan of the Esper, we wanted to make sure that we were providing a number of subclasses that really made sure that you could hit the flavor of psionic that you wanted to.
The 4 subclasses that we're offering really sort of run the gamut of themes and experiences. The first is the warhead, which is your classic telekinetic, almost, not being able to maintain control and just blowing things up with your mind. There's the psychonaut, which is your classic telepath, and you're peering into minds and you're reading thoughts and you're trying to confuse them, make them see things and almost break their minds.
You endeavor to crush its mind.
Exactly right. There are the Rift Walkers, whose psychic energy is so powerful that they can affect time and space itself. Finally, there's the symbiote, which is our almost kind of martial flavored Esper, where your psychic power is so strong that you are able to dominate a parasite from the void and then live symbiotically with it and bond with it and have this symbiotic relationship as you fight.
And that's even like a fun role play opportunity that I think that maybe certain people like to play warlocks in D&D for, where their GM can play their patron. So you can choose to have the parasite be some unthinking, gibbering thing and you're fully controlling it. But if you want it to have it be an actual entity with a personality that needs to interact with the symbiote Esper, that's a really fun opportunity for the players that want that.
So the warhead is a volatile telekinetic psychic. They manifest their magic through telekinetic force, violently throwing things around, generating destructive energy and channeling it through their other spells. And when they use the innate psionics feature, that makes them more volatile and bleeding out this energy, almost like they can't control it. You get access to a new spell called Disruption, where you are psionically ripping matter apart at the molecular level. So it's a fun little force damage cantrip, which you don't see a whole lot of, and then they'll get to build on that in fun ways. So when the Esper uses their sort of stokes their innate psionic power and lets it go, in addition to the bonus to hit with spell attack rolls and increasing their spell save DC, they'll also get to deal a little bit of extra damage with their Disruption cantrip, and they can spend psi points to push that damage onto their other spells, their more powerful spells.
What are a couple of the other keystone abilities that kind of make it feel like a warhead?
So they get a really fun bonus action that lets them pulse this violent burst of telekinetic energy that ripples out from them, does damage and throws enemies back. Well, throws everyone back, so be careful where you use it. Here's one of those theme and mechanics things. A lot of effects in late sort of recent D&D are very smart targeting, where you get to pick who gets whammed by it and who doesn't, which is cool. I love that. This is the volatile Esper who maybe is on the verge of losing control of their powers, so you don't get to pick. If you let this go, everybody who's in range gets nailed by it. So be careful when you use this around your friends. And they can do that as a bonus action, but they can also do it as part of the bonus action they do to unleash their psionic power to their full potential. They have an ability that overcharges their spells with this psychic force, where it will jump and ripple from one target to another one. So whenever they deal damage with their spells, they can sort of splash a little bit of area shockwave and do a little collateral damage with what maybe was a single target spell.
So we've got the warhead. What is the other subclass that we're looking at?
The other subclass that's in book 1 presented along with the Esper class skin is the psychonaut, and that's your powerful telepath. That's someone who is all about delving into the minds of others, forming telepathic connections, being able to speak with their mind, with their allies, or whisper to their enemies if they're feeling like they want to unsettle someone. And it's important to note that one of the other mechanical changes that happens early in the Esper is all Espers are telepathic to a limited degree, shorter range. They get to boost that range quite a bit, and then eventually they get to spread that telepathy in sort of a network to multiple creatures.
How do you manifest that? That's awesome.
I mean, narratively, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can talk about it. You could think of it as like your Esper being the switchboard between this mental communication network, and all of these thoughts are sort of routing through, and people can hear the echoes of what each other are saying. You could think of it as more of a hive mind if you wanted to go a little creepy and unsettling with it. You could do the alien bug monster hive mind, or the assimilating robot hive mind. There's a lot of fun ways you can take that. And so they interact with the detect thought spell in a fun way, where generally whenever you probe deeply into the thoughts of someone using detect thoughts, they automatically know that you're doing that and you're trying to read their mind. They have an ability to make that subtle to the point where you don't get to know. Yeah. So they can be scary, right? They can be excellent information gatherers. They can be unsettling spies, and they can use that information for a variety of purposes, and we're going to hope it's heroic.
That's fantastic.
So when you get a couple of levels, you can start doing things like psychic surgery almost.
Oh, wow.
You can tell when allies of yours, if they have the charmed or the frightened condition, you can, if you're in telepathic contact with them, you can remove it. Another feature of that particular power lets you implant some of those impulses and urges into other creatures, and you get to do it semi for free if you remove it from one of your allies first. Then you can put it on an enemy.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So we can also talk about the capstone of the psychonaut if
Okay,
we want.
yeah. Tell me
that is descriptively called collapse mind.
Wow.
Where you get to force a foe's mind to sort of implode and crush in on itself.
Perfect.
Just sounds, it's going to be a time for someone at least.
What's the next subclass we got?
Okay, so we're going to be, for these other two subclasses, we're going to jump over to the Overdrive expansion, which is book 3, which is kind of just more of everything. And so in that we have the Riftwalker.
Okay.
The Riftwalker is your psychoportation psychic. They cause ripples and tears in time and space, and they can jump forward or backward a few seconds, and then, through space as well. They'll have the ability to move around a battlefield quickly, almost effortlessly. And then we're going to be throwing in some fun spells that let them manipulate time and space a little bit more than the current slate of options does.
That's awesome.
And our fourth and final subclass for the Esper is the symbiote. The symbiote is an Esper who has forged a bond with an entity from the abyssal void, one of our other realms, our planes of existence in D&D parlance. And this thing has bonded with you if you wanted to play your Venom or there's certain champions from League of Legends. Kaisa, I think, is one of those. If you wanted to play a character like that, where you have this entity that sort of becomes this part of you, you can shape it into armor or weapons, and you can sort of ride some of its baser instincts and urges, but they blend with your will. So it doesn't control you. You kind of work together and become a new thing.